In the world of next-gen batteries, perception often travels faster than physics. Donut Lab has attracted enormous attention with bold claims, superior thermal management, and energy densities reportedly exceeding 500 watt-hours per kilogram. In a market hungry for the next breakthrough, these numbers sound like the long-awaited answer to lithium-ion's limitations. But here is the uncomfortable question engineers are trained to ask. Are these results rooted in real-world vehicle conditions, or are they optimized for the laboratory? So what exactly is Donut Lab not telling you? Solid-state batteries, especially those using ceramic or sulfide electrolytes, fundamentally rely on high stack pressure to function properly. Unlike liquid electrolytes that naturally wet electrode surfaces, solid materials require force to maintain intimate contact at every interface. In laboratory conditions, Donut Lab's cells reportedly operate under 50 to 100 atmospheres of compressive pressure. At these levels, ionic conductivity improves dramatically, interfacial resistance drops, and impressive performance metrics emerge. On paper, everything looks promising. But now consider a real vehicle. Automotive battery packs typically tolerate less than 10 atm of sustained internal pressure. Anything higher demands heavy mechanical frames, reinforced housings, and added mass, directly reducing vehicle efficiency. You cannot realistically install a hydraulic press inside a passenger car. When pressure drops from lab conditions to automotive reality, the physics changes quickly. At lower pressure, engineers expect ionic conductivity losses of 40 to 50%, along with increased risk of delamination between layers after repeated charge-discharge cycles. Microgaps form, resistance rises, heat accumulates, and degradation accelerates. This is the truth Donut Lab rarely emphasizes. Their best numbers likely depend on pressures that are simply incompatible with mass-market electric vehicles. The second uncomfortable question revolves around definitions. Donut Lab consistently markets its technology as solid-state, but what does that actually mean? In engineering terms, all solid-state implies the complete absence of liquid or gel components. In practice, many so-called solid-state batteries quietly include 5 to 10% liquid or gel-based wetting agents. These additives dramatically improve interfacial contact between the cathode and the solid electrolyte, reducing impedance and improving early cycle performance. Without them, yields collapse. From an engineering standpoint, this compromise makes sense. From a marketing standpoint, it introduces ambiguity. The consequence is twofold. First, safety is no longer absolute. Even small amounts of organic solvent reintroduce flammability risk, undermining the "cannot catch fire" narrative. Second, the chemistry begins to resemble quasi-solid or semi-solid batteries, similar in concept to systems already deployed by companies like WeLion or used in early NIO packs. The difference is branding. By labeling the technology as solid-state, Donut Lab positions itself closer to a future ideal, even if the underlying chemistry lives somewhere in between. This distinction matters because investors and consumers often assume a level of maturity and safety that the chemistry may not fully deliver. Can fast charging and long life really coexist without consequences? Fast charging is where the marketing narrative becomes most fragile. Donut Lab hints at ultra-fast charging capabilities, numbers that suggest 15-minute charging times or less. But every battery engineer knows the trade-off hiding behind that promise. At high charging rates, anything above 2C, lithium plating becomes a serious threat, even in solid electrolytes. Under aggressive current, lithium dendrites can nucleate and propagate along grain boundaries or microdefects in the electrolyte. Contrary to popular belief, solid electrolytes do not magically stop dendrites. In some cases, their rigidity makes cracking even more dangerous. Let's look at realistic numbers. Under moderate charging conditions around 0.5 C, a solid-state cell like Donut Labs could plausibly achieve 700–800 cycles before noticeable degradation. That is respectable. Now increase the rate to 4C, consistent with 10 to 15-minute fast charging claims. Under these conditions, engineers would expect cycle life to collapse to fewer than 200 cycles, often accompanied by micro-short circuits that slowly degrade capacity before catastrophic failure. This is the critical contradiction rarely addressed publicly. the lifespan data is almost certainly generated under slow charging, while the fast charging capability is advertised separately. In today's designs, these two metrics cannot coexist at scale. Something has to give, and it is usually longevity. Why is scaling up still a nightmare? The most revealing question of all is about manufacturing. If Donut Labs technology were truly ready, large automakers would already be lining up. Yet no major acquisition has happened, and companies like Elon Musk have shown no public interest. The reason lies in production physics. Modern lithium-ion batteries rely on high-speed roll-to-roll manufacturing, achieving yields above 95% once processes stabilize. This is how costs fall below $100 per kilowatt. Donut Labs' toroidal or highly customized layered structure does not fit easily into these lines. The geometry complicates coating uniformity, alignment, and quality inspection. Every additional step reduces yield. Industry estimates suggest that early-stage solid-state lines of this complexity may achieve only 40 to 50% yield. That means half of all produced cells are scrapped. Economically, this is devastating. Even if raw materials were cheap, the effective cost per usable kilowatt-hour becomes 3 to 4 times higher than mature LFP production. As a result, Donut Labs batteries may only make sense in niche markets, military drones, aerospace platforms, or ultra-high-end vehicles where cost is secondary to performance. For mass-market EVs, the numbers simply do not work. So what is Donut Lab really building, and who is it actually for? If Donut Labs' solid-state battery is not ready for mass-market EVs, then what is it truly optimized for? From an engineering perspective, the answer is far more nuanced and far less glamorous than the marketing narrative suggests. Technologies that struggle with pressure requirements, fast charge degradation, and low manufacturing yield do not disappear. They simply migrate to environments where those weaknesses can be tolerated. In aerospace, military drones, or experimental robotics, battery packs are small, heavily constrained, and often custom-engineered. Applying 50-100 atm of stack pressure is not unreasonable when the system weighs a few kilograms and cost is secondary to performance. Likewise, a cycle life of 150 to 300 cycles may be acceptable for a mission-specific platform that is replaced frequently. In these niches, Donut Labs' geometry-driven thermal advantages could indeed shine. But here lies the key distinction. Donut Lab rarely clarifies. A technology can be groundbreaking without being scalable. Many of the most impressive battery chemistries in history, lithium-air, lithium-sulfur, even early solid-state concepts, worked beautifully in controlled environments and failed spectacularly in production. Before you leave, please help us reach our first channel subscribers, and don't forget to click that bell icon to quickly receive notifications about upcoming exciting content. Thank you, fellas.